Inland Sports.
And now join us here on the show, fresh off a championship at the prestigious Queen of the Hill Wrestling Tournament in Corona at Santiago High School. It is from Liberty High School, Anna Bozanic. And Anna, first off, congratulations. If people out there are watching this interview on the Inland Sports Show, what would you say to them so they could understand how big this tournament is and how important it is?
This tournament was pretty big. There was about 920 girls, and from several states as well. And for girls, that is a huge amount of girls to be at this tournament. And in each bracket, it's almost bigger than state brackets. There's 60 girls, 80 girls in some brackets.
Yeah, crazy. Almost 1,000 competitors. And this is probably as close as to what we'll see at the CIF state meet. Probably, some great wrestlers from up and down the West Coast, maybe at the national level too. So for you to win your weight class 237, I mean, what did that do for your confidence in terms of just the rest of the season now, that knowing you were the best of the best at the Queen of the Hill?
For me, it helped me, I felt accomplished for what I did, but I'm also I don't underlook my opponents. Even if I won, I continue one match at a time. It gives me a confidence, yeah, I'm gonna go out there. I applied with what I did, but I'm still respecting my opponent and going out there with what I know.
Last year you had such a great season as a freshman, making it all the way to third place at the CIF state meet. Do you feel like, even though you're just a sophomore, do you feel like coming back this year, you're like, wow, I feel like I got something to prove? I feel like as great as last year was as a true freshman, this year could be even bigger and better.
Yeah, I do feel like that. I was surprised how well I did last year, but this year I'm I need to do better. Third place isn't, well, number one, obviously. So I still want to go out there and get my first place.
So Anna, at the Queen of the Hill, what really stood out to you that you did well? What was it that you think you did well all tournament long to get to the championship match and obviously win the title?
The moves that I was applying, because I would do it but not really think of it, so it's muscle memory. Mm-hmm. So I like to do moves, and then I don't really know sometimes what I did, because I just do it. I do it, and then they come down. I'm like, what? But I like to do that.
But that's a great thing, right? Because now you're not thinking about it, you're just doing it.
It's just a great feeling. I'm like, oh, I did something good.
Going into this season, what were your goals, not only for this year, but maybe the next 3 years at Liberty? Because, we talked about the CIF state meet. I know you also compete at the national level. What are some of your big goals now?
For some of my big goals is, to win state, hopefully 3 times. But that's a big goal, so I'm going to try and do that. And then also go to Fargo and do well at Fargo. That's a national tournament it's freestyle and Greco, but I think it's just freestyle for girls. And then also be on the girls' national dual team again, all years.
Anna, you would know better than I do, but I feel like, obviously girls wrestling is growing by leaps and bounds in terms of popularity, and I'm sure there's scholarships out there now for female wrestlers. Is that what you would like to do as well, and wrestle at the next level?
Yeah, I would. I've been working many years so that I can, help for school. Yeah.
Now, I know you've done the show before with Coach Phillips and some of the other grapplers at Liberty, but again, how did you get introduced to the sport? Your dad? Do you have siblings? How were you first introduced?
Well, my dad, he used to wrestle, but at the beginning, my brother wrestled. My dad didn't tell my brother that he wrestled. He just took him to a tournament and some practices, and he enjoyed it, my brother. So he continued going to practices and stuff, and then I was always there for about 2 years. I would sit and watch his practices, and then I would slowly go to the tumbling, and then, first practice part, 10 minutes with just the tumbling, and then I started going to full practices, and then, just now I'm here.
And you love it, right? I mean, obviously you wouldn't keep doing it and keep trying to get better if you didn't love it.
Yeah. And it's fun to have my sibling in it, my brother Dominic, because he's also, it makes it fun.
Do you? So in practice, who do you go up against? Do you ever see your brother in practice?
No, my brother, he wrestles at Gilroy, but
Oh, he's
I
at
always,
Gilroy. Oh, okay.
yeah, but I always wrestle like our heavyweights, our big dudes. So I always have to wrestle against them.
Which Gilroy's another wrestling powerhouse, right? They've had some really good programs up at Gilroy as well.
Yep, they are.
So Anna, so here we are. You win the Queen of the Hill, and I asked you about what it does for, I'd say, like your confidence, the momentum for the rest of the season coming up for you. Do you feel like you proved something maybe to yourself by winning the title as well? I mean, maybe you proved to other people, but having to convince yourself maybe a little bit that you could do it.
No, yeah, because like last year I didn't really care what I was doing. I was just going out there. But now like it means more because like I feel like your freshman year is like setting your standards or where you're at, and then like your next year's like okay, let me try and beat what I just did. Because when I went into freshman year, like I had no specific goals because I didn't know where I was at because I was just starting to wrestle my high school career. So since I know how well I did in my freshman year, going into this year, like oh, I want to do better than I did last year.
And I saw
Yeah.
at the Queen of the Hill, what did they give you, like a tiara or some sort of a crown or something for the champions?
I was like, I want that tiara. That was my main goal. I was like, that tiara looks cute.
So that begs the question: the tiara and all your medals, like where do all these go? What do you do with all this stuff?
I keep them. Well, I don't know where sometimes, but like the important ones, I keep them in my room. Oh,
I think that display is going to have to keep growing, or you're going to need more shelves or whatever, because I think you're going to have a lot of awards and medals and whatnot by the time this is all said and done.
my walls. I sometimes hang like my medals. I think my wall's gonna go down.
Too heavy, too much good stuff there. And then Anna, I think remember last year, I think was it right after you became the first individual CIF champion for Liberty? I can't remember the timing of the interview from last year, but you also made history for the school being that first CIF champion, individually as well. Do you feel like, is that, I don't know if it's one of your goals or just kind of happens as you continue to win, but you're setting a lot of records and making a lot of history along the way. Do you think about that at all?
Yeah, I think it's nice because like you set like things so then other people in the scene like try to be their best so they can do it too. So it's just nice to have like also like for myself like goals that I've completed. So it also stays so I leave my mark in my high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly. That'll be part of your legacy, the first to win CIF, maybe the first CIF state champion, so on, all those sorts of things. So a lot of history to be made. Anna, listen, congratulations on the Queen of the Hill Championship. And I know there's still a lot of wrestling in front of you this season, a lot of big goals like you were talking about. So congratulations and best of luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
All right, go Bison. That is Anna Bozanic from Liberty High School. Bison Wrestling right here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland Sports.